Hi, I'm Belinda and welcome to Belinda's Baubles. Today is a special out and about. It is the 2026 North Texas Yarn Crawl. If you're not familiar with yarn crawls, for this one we're going to be participating by going to 13 area locally independent yarn shops and getting our passport stamped and seeing all this yarny goodness. We're going to start off today up in Denton, Texas, which is about a 30-45 minute drive for me up by the college that Seaver graduated from. Of course, they weren't there whenever Seaver was going to college, and it is called the Denton Yarnworks. I'm hoping to be able to get to at least 3, maybe 4 other yarn shops today. We'll see how it goes. I'm not going to push myself real hard, and if possible, I'm hoping to be able to make a few stops along the way at some local area things to show you as well. So I hope you enjoy this, and let's crawl. Today is July 14th, and due to unforeseen circumstances and just life getting away from me, I've been unable to fully edit this video until now. So join me as I look back and recapture this time, and know that even though some of these things may not be available in these shops, most of the shops that we're visiting and most of the yarns are available for purchase via mail in the United States and possibly outside the United States from other sources. Today we're visiting Denton Yarnworks, which is owned by Shelly Diaz and just opened in June of 2025. So this is my first time visiting it. The sheep on her logo is Ida and is their mascot, and is named after Shelly's grandmother, who was an avid crocheter. There's Shelly now greeting us. And one of the first things I saw here really caught my attention. These are the Pearl Scout badges, and they're so much fun. Shelly also dyes her own signature yarns. And this was the blue and brown was the 2026 yarn crawl color. But look at all this luscious, beautiful yarn. And there's so much to see just straight into the shop. And it's such a convenient location, being just a mile from the downtown historic Denton Square. Look how this crochets up. Shelly's background is in crochet. But, oh, I kept finding more and more to see. Some of them are yarns that I've seen other places. I still have never tried earth yarns yet, though. The colors are so vibrant and fun. And that looks like it would stripe up so nicely. She had a lot of tools in multiple places, and you can see her love of crochet with these gorgeous blankets that she made. Look at how those colors pop and the crochet detail. And that little toddler dress, how amazing is that? I tried to show you all the different inspirational patterns and everything as we go through. Of course, you need some great dinosaur eggs. And these Madeline Tosh one-of-a-kinds you ever wanted to try Madeline Tosh, that's the way to go, I think. Just using they're one of a kind, so they're usually very reasonably priced. Okay, so this is the Perennial yarn by Kilborn Woolens. I had not noticed them before. They're out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, founded in 2008 and started their own brand and dye studio in 2017. Then in this room, I found yarns that I would normally find at like a Michael's, as well as other yarns that you would only find in a yarn shop. And it's such a great combination, all these different price points, as well as a lot of colors. Then you have these huge Sirdar yarns and these great amigurumi kits. And lots of cotton in this area. We're going to come back to that in a minute. But look at the crocheted cardigan. Now over here are all the mandalas. And those are amazing to make shawls with, crocheted or knit. And there's bags everywhere. Lots of inspiration. And even scarfy. That was so soft. Okay, I said we'd get back over here. Now look at this Sirdar corner. And there's all these different samples. And that book there are Sirdar patterns in there. I mean, I could sit in this corner leafing through this and looking at the pattern book and just be so happy as long as I had a chair to comfortably sit there. All right, this got my eye. This is Morris DK by West Yorkshire Spinners, and it's a superwash yarn. It's a collaboration with the William Morris Society, and that really got me looking into William Morris, who was a revolutionary force in Great Britain. The charity opened in 1955. Here we have some more Kilborn Woolens. But William Morris was a Victorian designer, poet, activist, craftsman, and environmentalist. Now, while y'all continue to look at all these Germantown colors, I'm going to continue telling you a little bit more about the Morris DK, because it is 50% blue-faced Leicester wool, 25% blue-faced Kerry Hill wool, and 25% Masham wool. It's machine washable up to 86 degrees Fahrenheit, and that has me really interested. But all this crème brûlée, so soft. Honestly, it is a feast whenever you go through a yarn shop of the senses. And there's so many of them that I want to make and use that I have not tried yet. And look at all these cute needle stoppers. Okay, she had some really great different crochet hooks and books that really caught my eye. I mean, a knitting answer book and a crochet answer book. And this area over here, including more West Yorkshire Spinners, is such a nice selection of sock yarns. There's a lot of different design or brands there with a good variety of different colors. All right, While we're in Denton, I was able to visit the Denton County Historical Park. It's always been closed, and they were having an event there. So this is the Bayless Selby House. It was purchased by the Bayless family, who was probably the third owner, in 1898. This china here was hand-painted by the daughter. It's a Queen Anne Victorian home. And take a look at that grand piano back there. That is an E. Gabler and Brothers grand piano. It's Eastlake style furniture, and it was purchased originally for $800, which included 10 acres. And they added electricity and plumbing and a 2-story addition for another $1,500. This kitchen was amazing to me, just all the little details. Now this up here on top was how you would order ice. According to which number was on top was what size block you wanted. And they had these old recipes. The bedroom was the warmest place in the house. On the far wall over there is a hair wreath from 17 different members of the same family. And this fireplace was tiger oak, which is formed by cutting the oak in a specific way to show the grain. And it's a lost art. The upstairs has a child's bedroom, and also it has the Dr. William McCormick Museum. This is going to be, oh, look at that piece of crochet doily. Oh, okay, so this here is Dr. William McCormick. He practiced from 62 to 99 when he passed away, internal medicine here in Denton. His collection that he has started, and these are personal purchases and gifts from patients and fellow practitioners. And he started it in 1962, and his wife donated it. Now the gardens are maintained by master gardeners in authentic Victorian style. The other buildings were not open because they only had one person to show you around, but this is the Denton County African American Museum. It's a 1904 Quakertown house, which was a thriving independent African American community that was forcibly relocated by the city in the 1920s. This is the Woods House Museum here, where exhibits explore the local experience of the Civil Rights era. And then the Taylor Log Cabin from 1868 was originally in Corinth, Texas, before it was donated and moved here just a few years ago. And what else does a log cabin need but an outhouse? Yep, an outhouse. And look at that side. There's so much history there. But what else does a yarn crawl need but a visit to Buc-ee's on the way back home to look at all of this Texas beaver stuff and get some brisket? And of course, you need to see Buc-ee. Hi, Buc-ee. And then you're back on the road, because a yarn crawl involves a lot of driving. And that is Fort Worth, off in the distance, and we are heading there next. As we head around the downtown area and over to West 7th Wool. This is owned by Amy and Hunter, and they have had the shop since May 7th, 2016. And they have their own yarn dyeing studio, which Hunter gave us a tour in 2024's yarn crawl video. So go back and check that out. Now their yarn crawl color that they dyed is called Cowgirls Don't Cry. And I love that turquoise in it. As well as the brown. Brown seems to be quite a theme which really does fit in with the Fort Worth area. Okay, check out, oops, I turned away, sorry. I wanted to go see the sequin top, but we're going to look at these yarns here real quick. And they always have the coolest bags. I love seeing what they come up with next. Lots of sparkles, and then this section here is their own studio dyed yarns, including Hunter Sock, which I've purchased before. Now, if you don't follow West 7th Wool on Instagram or Facebook, you really need to. Amy really does a great job of inspiring the rest of us. And you can purchase yarns from them and have them shipped to you within the United States. Now, this sequence top here got me going for my sequence top. It was one of the inspirations. And what she used was Lana Grassa Cosmo and Kremke Twinkle, each held double. So that's 4 strands of yarn. And that there is a top made with a Kremke Twinkle, I believe. Now, the way that they have their yarn set up, oh, I've got to try this bamboo pop eventually. Thought I had some in my stash. I need to go look. But the way they have their yarn set up is by weight. So as you go through here, oh, another one I need to try. Zauberball out of Germany, self-striping sock yarn. Okay, so as we go through here, we've got all of our different weights. They list them up on the top. And you can just explore as you go through this shop. It's very bright and airy. And there's Hunter and Amy. Okay, this is a Blue Ribbon awarded sock here. It's by Knit Julep, and she is a Knitting Tech editor and designer, Kim Wilkerson. And she did win a blue ribbon at the 2025 Texas State Fair. All right, now we're on to Juju Knits, which unfortunately, as of this date, has permanently closed. But there's so much to see in here that can be found elsewhere. So if you see something here, you're going to be like me and might be checking it out somewhere else. Including, look at all these soaps. She had like a gift shop area in here. And I had no idea that Unique Yarn actually sold completed socks. And there is Macy and Lynette. Okay, so I've brought you in here a few different times, and it's totally different from some other shops as far as it felt a little closed, and she had so much jam-packed in here. It really amazed me by how much she was able to get in here, but all these different heritage prints. And just check out all these different names. If you see something here, you can always find it online up to a large degree, and maybe through a someone in your area. What do we want to see next besides pom-poms? Pom-poms always make me smile. Oh, I'm sad this shop is gone. I mean, look at all of this. From Dolly to Buzz to Mary Poppins. What do you need on your Christmas tree? These were all felted. Okay, this top over here caught my attention. This is the Rose Ruffle top. Now, take a look at that. I've got it on my list of things I want to make. I love the front of this. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that something you want in your closet? Hmm. Okay, where to next? Where to next? Back in this corner, that's the Madeline Tosh Library, Lending Library. You could exchange things. And then all of this Emma Ball. I love, love Emma Ball. And all of these books. There's always something new to find. Okay, we're coming up. Oh, look at those minis. We're coming up on an inspiration to something that I purchased. Can you see it back there? Look at this sequence. This is what got me interested in the Lana Grossa, was these two sequence tops we've seen between West 7th and here at Juju's. And that's where I end up making my top from two of those. Now, a trunk show was happening, and that's Lori with Arkansas Yarn Co. And who else is going to show off a caftan and make it look amazing? Lori was wearing the Oh My Caftan, Kafton, by Anna Enge, Enge. And she had made it with some of her own yarns, which are always these great floral colors in the spring and summer, where she takes inspiration from her own garden. Lori is the owner of Arkansas Yarn Co., which is in Malvern, Arkansas, and they are having the Arkansas Yarn Crawl July 17th to 25th this year. There's 9 shops across the state, and one of these days I'm going to make it out there for more than just a dip into 2 shops. Oh, look at these bags here in the back. Those were surprise grab bags, and I got to see a couple of them opened while I was there. Go over to Lori's social media to be able to see that. Ah, so much fun. All right, now we're at Grapevine at On the Lamb Yarn Shop, where Heather presides. Now, she is the Circulo flagship store for the Metroplex, and they have embroidery floss. Has anyone used their embroidery floss? I'm curious about it, but I haven't really done much cross-stitching. And all things amigurumi. Now, Circulo has a lot of free patterns through their app, so you might check them out and see what they have to offer. I've tried a few of their yarns. That bubblegum looks like it would be fun. And I used their jeans yarn. That's more bubblegum down there. The jeans yarn is right over here. Yep, there it is. And I made the little amigurumi dinosaur baby toy out of it. Now, they had already had a group go in before I got there the day before and wiped out a lot of their stalls. They had a great yarn crawl this year. And this is the yarn shop that I hang out. I really do like the infinity sock. It's already pre-split in there to tell you when to start over to have matching socks. And all of these great, or most of the amigurumi that you'll see through here, are made by Jen Dye. And she provides and loans a lot of the samples out to the shop. Now, this is the trunk show Holly Dyeworks. She mailed it over, and she is located in northern Alabama and has an online shop. Aren't those some fun colors? And I think this was pretty much my first time to see her yarns. Heather has a large area and a lot of different varieties. in here. Now, has anyone seen this pattern? I cannot find out what the pattern was. It was a sample brought in for an embroidery class. And so Heather wasn't sure what it is either. And I've been searching for it and have not had any luck figuring it out yet. I would love to hear from any of you guys if you know what it is. Now here's one of my favorite workhorse yarns, Barocco Vintage. And more of Jen Dye's amazing little pieces. All right, now in the back room was the Charming You trunk show. And I Want to Be a Cowboy and You Can Be My Cowgirl are the show colors. That's the cowboy. Here's the cowgirl. And every time I say it, I hear the song in my head. Now for this show, her theme is the K-pop Demon Hunters film, 2025 film. I know absolutely nothing about it, but I love Maureen's yarn. I did one of her Christmas advents a couple of years ago, and I'm going to have to try that pressed flowers eventually. Oh, okay, this cardigan keeps getting my eye. The Ira, E-I-R-A cardigan by Irene Lynn. And it just looks so fun, and it's now on my list of to-dos. There's a long list of to-dos. And this Cirrus shawl by Zines and Rogers is a crochet shawl with mohair and boucle. That would be another amazing one to make. Can you tell golden caught my eye? Does it look familiar? What is your favorite in here? And Maureen does have her own website. And if you see something here that catches your eye and you have questions about it, you can find her on Instagram. I message her there. And there's Maureen. Okay, Circulo had sent over a trunk show as well. And so I wanted to give you some inspiration here by showing you some of their patterns. Just zoom in and you can see the information. Now, not all of these will have tags. Apparently, some people, when they get inspired, don't photograph the tag. They take the tag with them. I don't know any names, but it made me sad. So take a look through here and see if you find your next project. I'm back, and it's a week later, and this is Kirsten with Foxbane Fibers and her Boot Scootin' and Rusty Spurs sock kit that she had paired together with the Stick Together sock pattern by Jessica Antonio. That's it there. You can find the sock pattern online on Ravelry. And look at these luscious colors. That Surrey Decay I'm making something with, and it's amazing. Now, does this look familiar? Yes, it's the edge scarf. And look, I'm wearing mine. Now, Kirsten's collection for this show was the Wordsmith collection, drawing hues from her favorite books and movie scenes. Most of the time, whenever I see her yarns, they are so colorful. Speckles and all of that is what I think of. So this was a whole new realm for her to have these great deep colors that just spoke to you. That one was pretty much sold out already. Ah. Now, do you have a favorite in here? Now, this year, Kirsten is doing her Yule Lads Advent Calendar again. And hers is a 13-day calendar. Sorry, it's already too late for you for this year. She's already closed her pre-sales. But it's different. It comes with patterns and other goodies and different sized skeins to make these projects up. And it is themed around Iceland's Yule Lads. So join me during Advent this year, as far as Christmas Advent, in the daily vlogs, and not only during the last 13 days going towards Christmas will open the Advent, but leading up to it, we're going to explore Iceland, which she has her heritage from on her grandmother's side. But for now, I'll say come back for day 2.